Well, of course, we're back for another episode of the QB Zone. As usual, I'm so grateful to you guys for tuning in and supporting. Today, I'm definitely going to have a little fun with this topic. It's a topic that I think a lot of people will relate to. You know, when I think about this topic, I think about a few things. The first thing is it reminds me of one of my favorite artists, Toni Braxton. Actually, one of her many hit songs has the exact same name. And it makes me think about some other celebrities. So when I talk about or mention the Toni Braxton song, I'm talking about her earlier song from the Boomerang soundtrack, Love Should Have Brought You Home. That's one of the things we're going to talk about, or that's associated with what we're going to talk about. But the other thing that this subject matter makes me think about is Bill and Hillary Clinton, T.I. and Tiny, Offset and Cardi B, Jody and Yvette, for those who saw the classic Baby Boy movie. You have Kanye West and Amber Rose, or Kanye West and a lot of people. Initially, I thought of Kim Kardashian and Reggie Bush, but in actuality, I can probably think about Kim Kardashian and a lot of people as well. You have Booby and Keisha Cole. You have Shaq and Shawnee O'Neal. A lot of relationships involving like professional athletes, multiple relationships involving reality stars. I mean, you can also mention Bobby and Whitney, Beyonce and Jay-Z, any relationship that Ray J has ever been in, and many, many more. These are all marriages or relationships that have had to deal with various levels of adultery or cheating. And unfortunately, some of them experienced it multiple times. Some were able to work through this major relationship mountain. Some saw their relationship unrepairable, broken, dead as 10 bodies in a cemetery. I came across a website called Bustle, hustle, but with a B. And it talked about 8 ways to repair your relationship after cheating. For a lot of people, and listen, I understand why. What works for some doesn't work for others. And I can definitely understand why some people say that cheating is a deal breaker. I can understand why some people choose to move past it. And of course, there's different contexts and different things, in play when you talk about someone who is flat out, it's a deal breaker, I'm gone, versus maybe we can work past it. You know what I'm saying? So when I came across the 8 ways that they talked about repairing your relationship after cheating, the first one is don't automatically assume that the relationship is doomed. The second one is acknowledge that you've created a problem. And this is more so for the person who did the cheating. Acknowledge that you've created a problem. Number 3, figure out what drove you to cheat. Number 4, cut off communication with the other man or woman. Number 5, limit the times that you talk about the infidelity. Because if you're going to move past it, why? Baby, you can't keep talking about it. Because every time you talk about it, it's probably going to bring up some of those old, feelings of anger or hurt. Talk about it, and if you choose that, we're going to move on, you can't keep mentioning it. And it reminds me of something else I'm going to mention in a little bit. Number 6, give your partner time to heal. This is probably one of the things that pisses me off. And I think that we men do it a lot. I ain't never did it. But I have known men to do it a lot. You cheat on your female, your significant other, wife, girlfriend, fiance, whatever the hell she is to you. And you want to dictate how she gets over it or how long she take. That is crazy to me. You think just because you gave gifts or you groveled, you got on bended knee, or you went through all different types of lengths to show that you are genuinely apologetic and remorseful, and then you think just like that she should be over it. No, that is crazy as hell. You can't rush or dictate how long that person takes to heal. How about you be glad that they even willing to take your ass back? You know. Number 7, be honest with yourself and with your partner. Nothing hurts worse than to be on the receiving end, as far as I know, because it's never happened to me. But from what I've heard, it is hard to be on the receiving end of something like this, and then you don't even get the truth as far as why it happened, how it happened, to find out later on that there were more lies. Yeah, that doesn't make for a good situation. And then lastly, seek professional help, especially if you're married, which there's couples counseling, so you definitely be dating and have therapy, don't get me wrong, but I definitely feel like if you're married, yeah, I definitely think that we need to, or you would need to definitely sign y'all up for some counseling. And I think it should be individual and couple. Because listen, regardless of how inconceivable it might seem to cheat or to be cheated on, the harsh reality is that unfortunately it happens all the time. Sometimes the truth never comes out, and the person who did the deed spends years saddled with a guilty conscience. Other times it does come to light and wreaks absolute havoc on what may have seemed like a good relationship. Your perfect world has now been blown the hell up. Some researchers have estimated that marital infidelity occurs in about 2.3% of married women and about 4.3% of married men. Other studies suggest that as many as 25% of men and 11% of women will at some point in their lives end up in bed with someone other than their partner. It all comes down to respect. If you truly respect the person you've committed to, you will never be able to cheat on him and her. Now, I definitely think that there's some... I don't think that's 100% correct. I definitely think there can be some exceptions. I don't think it's right to necessarily say if you respect. Well, then again, let me think about that. Yeah, you know what? Now that I think about it, I think I do agree. I think you can love someone and still cheat, but there's no way in hell you respect them. I do agree with that. Because when you think about it, you would just not be capable of doing that to someone you care deeply about. Just because there may not have been respect at the moment, it doesn't mean that this can't be significantly improved. Yeah, with the right work, oh yeah, we can definitely improve it, but both parties have to be willing to put in the work. Past urges to cheat comes from never really wanting to commit to a relationship, but still selfishly wanting all the benefits of having one. I gotta repeat that because there's too many people I know that just don't, they just think cheating is just as necessary as it is for them to breathe air. Past urges to cheat come from never really wanting to commit to a relationship, but still selfishly wanting all the benefits of having one. Some men, rather than bringing up such a subject, feel shame that they automatically assume their wife will freak out. Then they project their own shame upon their partner, often unjustly. Even if the wife initially is not open to such experimentation, the man's desire for it is not likely to go away, and he may seek out a different avenue with which to vent it. Similarly, a husband's unwillingness to be more romantic doesn't mean his wife's desire for it will go away either. If the betrayer wants to salvage the relationship or build a new marriage, he or she is going to have to become completely transparent for a period of time. That is, no secret passwords for emails or computers, no secret meetings or letters. Nothing can ever be deleted. If not, the injured partner cannot learn to trust again. Over time, the injured partner needs to understand that total transparency is no longer useful and needs to prepare for that to end and learn to trust in the dark. This is not easy. For some people, cheating means an automatic breakup, but others may still have feelings for their partner, and depending on the circumstances, they may want to try and keep the relationship going. A lot of people will ask, how do I trust again after my partner cheats? As hard as this might be to hear, it's important to remember that there is no way to 100% guarantee that your partner will never cheat again. Your partner has to make the choice not to cheat, and you can't control other people's decisions. However, you can choose whether or not to trust your partner again. Rebuilding trust is possible. It does take a lot of work, and both partners have to be committed to healing the relationship. Communication should be open. Healthy communication is important in any relationship, but especially after trust has been broken. You should be able to talk honestly with your partner, and you should feel that your partner is being open and honest with you. If you have an argument, try to fight fair without bringing up the past, because sometimes we get into these fights and then these old feelings come back, these old thoughts come back, and now you might have went too far below the belt. Be on the same team. Your relationship may not look the same on the other side, but it is possible to build something new, and sometimes it could be new and better. You should both be focused on building that new relationship together. Stay present oriented. Stay present oriented. One of the most difficult things about rebuilding trust after someone cheats is staying in the present moment and building toward the future, rather than living in or worrying about the past. You have every right to feel hurt, angry, and sad about your partner's decision to cheat. However, if you can't eventually let go of those feelings and work toward a more positive, open approach to the relationship, it may be a sign that this relationship is not worth staying in. If you cannot get over it, do not stay in the relationship. Do not take the person back. Because if you choose to take that person back, if you choose that we're going to work past this and work through this, you can't hold that over that person's head. You can't bring it up every time they piss you off. You can't bring it up every time you feel maybe a feeling of deja vu. If you're going to move past it, you got to leave it in the past. Not bring it up every chance you get. Because then that means you ain't moved past it. You didn't leave it in the past. You didn't heal from it. You got to trust yourself. This might be the most important and hardest thing to do. You might be questioning your own instinct at this point. Should I have done something differently? Shouldn't I have seen this coming? But learning to trust yourself, your own feelings, and that you'll be okay moving forward, and that is key to having a healthy relationship with anyone. If something doesn't feel right, rethink about whether or not it's right for you. If you cheated on your partner and you both have decided to try and make your relationship work again, there are a few things you need to do. Take responsibility. Own up to your behaviors and be understanding about how those behaviors have made your partner feel. Be honest with yourself as to why you made the decision to cheat. Keep promises. Even something as simple as calling when you say you're going to call. Do what you say you're going to do. Show that you are worthy of trust. Now, as usual, I'm going to leave y'all with a good quote. So, the one I have for you says, when you realize that rushing around isn't working, you'll finally start to find the joy of slowing down.